Dear friends, welcome to the NIOS studio. In this video, we are going to talk about Renaissance. Renaissance is a word which means rebirth. Thus, it stands to depict the revival of art, architecture and literature in 14th to 17th century. Renaissance began with the revival of interest in ancient classical culture of Greeks and Romans. This period was known for new experiments, power of reasoning, laws and discoveries. Thus, it was called the Age of Enlightenment. Renaissance had spread from early Renaissance to High Renaissance and finally to Mannerism and Baroque. Though 14th century Renaissance with prominent artists like Duccio and Masaccio had more Gothic method of narration and less anatomy knowledge, yet they show sense of scientific proportion and observation in their painting. 15th century Renaissance gave enough stress to balance and harmony in art and nature. The use of light, shadow, foreshortening and perspective had been perfected. The most famous painters of this period are Leonardo da Vinci, Raphael and Michelangelo. Mannerist artists extended the principles of High Renaissance and tend to represent elongated figures in illogical spaces. Here in this time period, the emphasis was given more to show human soul with anatomically corrected human body. The objectives of this study to explain the evolution of Renaissance. The learners will be able to describe the development of this period and write about the artists and their working style. They also able to identify the enlisted art works. We will now appreciate one of the early Renaissance painting, Birth of Venus by the painter Sandro Botticelli. Botticelli painted Birth of Venus in about 1, 4, 8, 6, CE. This painting shows one of the best examples of rebirth of classical motifs inspired by 2nd century ancient Greek masterpieces. The painting depicts the classical goddess Venus emerging from the water on shell. The nude goddess is a representation not of earthly but spiritual love. She arrives as a full grown woman, symbolizing beauty and truth. She is joined by one of the goddesses of seasons who offer her cloth embroidered with flowers to cover her body. On the other side emerges wind god like angels free flowing in air. Venus stands in the center with modest pose which recalls ancient Gothic sculptures. The anatomy of Venus does not display the strict classical realism, as she is shown with elongated neck and her left shoulder slopes at unusual angle. She bears slim and long limbs. The cool artificial light adds soft, harmonious beauty to the painting. Now, we are going to appreciate one of the most famous painting of High Renaissance period. Mona Lisa. Leonardo da Vinci lived 1452 CE to 1519 CE. He was an Italian painter. He was regarded both as scientist and artist. Among many famous paintings, The Last Supper, The Virgin of the Rocks, and Mona Lisa stand forever universal fame. Mona Lisa was painted in 16th century on poplar wood in oil colors. It depicts a woman sitting with a mysterious smile which seems to welcome the observer. Leonardo used a pyramidal design where he folded hands form the base. There is a dramatic contrast of light and dark. The brightly lit face is framed with various elements like hair, veil and shadows. In the portrait of Mona Lisa, there is no visible facial hair, even eyebrows and eyelashes are shown missing. Still, the smile on the woman's face depicted more striking when looking at the portrait's eye than when looking at the mouth itself. There is a vast landscape behind the portrait. It depicts icy mountain, valley and curved river. The representation of the painting Mona Lisa reflects Leonardo's vision to connect humanity and nature. Now, we are going to appreciate another famous work of High Renaissance by Michelangelo. The name of the work is Pieta. Pieta is a sculpture made by Michelangelo during 1498 to 1499. It is created from a single slab of marble. This famous work shows Virgin Mary holding the dead body of Christ in her hands. The mother sits while Christ rests dead on her lap. The interpretation of his works balanced the Renaissance ideal of classical beauty and artists' own creative expressions. The structure of this sculpture is pyramidal in shape. Here he depicts Madonna much younger than her son. The Christ too express her purity. This is the most highly finished work of Michelangelo. The sculpture has unique drapery, movements, and strong anatomy details. The other famous works of art created by Michelangelo are the sculpture of David, Moses, and the frescoes on the ceiling of Sistine Chapel in Rome. After High Renaissance, we see the emergence of Baroque period. Rembrandt was a Dutch painter of this period, and his famous painting is the Night Watch. In most of his paintings, we see the mysteries in the play of light and shade. This tends to highlight the soul of the painting. Rembrandt painted Night Watch between 1640 CE to 1642 CE. For a long time, the painting was kept coated with a dark varnish, which gave the incorrect impression that the painting depicted a night scene. But the varnish was removed in 1940. It was discovered to represent broad daylight. This painting illustrates the young captain giving order to his lieutenant to march company civilians. The painting shows effective use of light and shadow. The captain is dressed in black with a red sash. The lieutenant and a small girl are shown wearing yellow dress, which also symbolizes the color of victory. There is also a white dead chicken hanging from the girl's belt, shown to represent defeated enemy. In the background stands a drummer to energize the march. The painting shows the mastery to depict the traditional military portraits with expression. Now let us assess what we have learnt so far from this lesson. Renaissance means rebirth. Thus, it stands to depict revival of ancient classical culture. It spreads from early Renaissance, High Renaissance to Baroque. Renaissance gave more stress to anatomical corrected human body with perspective, foreshortening and pyramidal composition, and play of dramatic light became the common feature of this period. The most famous artists of this period are Masaccio, Botticelli, Leonardo da Vinci, Raphael, Michelangelo, Rembrandt and Rubens. Dear learner, I hope you have understood a lot from the video. This video has explained about the history of Renaissance. For any kind of learning support, you can contact us at our helpline number 1-800-180-9393. For more information, log on to www.nios.ac.in. Thank you for listening the lecture.